MGX Minerals is revolutionizing the new energy economy with patented lithium extraction technology, replacing traditional solar evaporation using low-cost, low-energy nanofiltration. The first system of this paradigm shift technology is currently being commissioned. MGX Minerals trades on the CSE, symbol XMG, the OTCQB, symbol MGXMF, and Frankfurt, symbol 1MG. For more information, visit our website, mgxminerals.com.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. Welcome back to the show, and Happy New Year, Sharon.
Thank you very much, Jim, and Happy New Year to you, too.
Has there been any official response yet from the BC government on your hundreds of pages long fire report about smart meters?
Nope, not one. And they've been receiving a lot of emails, they've been receiving a lot of phone calls from various people who are very concerned about this and wondering why they're ignoring us. What they are doing is, in my opinion, hoping we just go away. And you'd think by now, after 6 years or 7 years of this, they'd know that we're not going away. More smart meter fires have occurred, not here in BC that I know about, but with Itron meters in other parts of the country and in the U.S. I've had 2 or 3 instances of fires that I've shared in updates over the last couple of weeks. And I was just notified by an electrical engineer in Manitoba yesterday that they had a meter fire, a smart meter fire, and the meter burned up, just as it does here. There was nothing left. He ruled out absolutely everything else. He is the forensic electrical engineer, inspector, who's called in when they suspect that there's been electrical fire. That's what's supposed to happen here. He looked at everything, and he checked the base. The base was absolutely fine. It was burned, but he could find absolutely nothing in the base that would have caused the fire. The panel was fine. There was nothing there that could have caused the fire. So the only thing he's left with is the smart meter, and it burned up. So he called me yesterday and wanted to know what happens here in a situation like this. And I told him the same thing that's happening where he is. Nothing. Because the evidence is gone. There's absolutely nothing you can do except say, everything else has been ruled out. It has to be the meter. And I provided many instances of that happening here in British Columbia. And not one minister, whether it's the Premier, whether it's the Minister of Energy, who is responsible for hydro, Minister Mungle, or the Minister who is responsible for the Fire Commissioner, Minister Trevena, nobody has got back. Nobody from the Green Party, nobody from the NDP, and nobody from the Liberals. And I think that it's a situation where they just don't want to know about it. It's shameful and it's scary.
Is the Goddard Report the only media outlet to contact and do a story with you about your smart meter fire report?
Just about. There's another one out of Nanaimo, Altered Ego. Bob Hansen does one. He calls me. I do an interview maybe once a month with him. But no, you're the prime one, Jim. No newspaper is doing it. No television is doing it. And everyone has been sent this information. I'm not tracking the fires anymore. I figured that I have enough information that should be bringing this home to everybody, that these should be recalled. There's evidence to demand that this should be recalled. They are faulty devices. Over the next while, the next thing on my list that I'm going to do, excuse me, is to start reporting these to the U.S. Consumer Affairs Bureau. The Canadian Consumer Affairs will not take this information because it's equipment that's owned by a utility, so they don't consider it a consumer device. I've argued with them that it's on our home, so I believe it should be considered a consumer device, but their mandate is only to report and take reports or complaints on things that are owned by consumers. So they won't look at it. I've tried every other agency I can think of in Canada. I've connected with the U.S. Consumer Affairs, and because our meter, which is the Itron, is used widely in the U.S., they are very interested in having information about the fires. And it does take a while to complete their report. They would like a report per fire. But that's what I'm going to do next. I think that that's our only option at this point. If the meters are recalled in the U.S. because of their design flaws, I think it would be very, very difficult for even Horgan to ignore it.
He'll bury it under a dam somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's very discouraging because we had such high hopes that the NDP and the Green Party would share our concerns a little bit more than the Liberals have, whether it's Site C or whether it's the smart meter issue or many other issues. But sadly, I have yet to see anybody who has a backbone in either party. So I'm just going to carry on and do the best I can to keep people informed. And I'll put word out there. I put word in my update earlier this week. If there's anybody who would like to try tracking some fires, because we know they're continuing, I did request one fire report about 2 months ago, and the report isn't available at the fire commissioner's office. So it's standard. The same thing's going on. But if there's anybody out there who feels that this is important enough to continue tracking fires, I will be more than happy to tell them how to do it, where the information is, and assist in any way. But I'm not doing it anymore.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after the break.
Glance Technologies owns and operates Glance Pay, a disruptive mobile payment technology now live in 16 cities in Canada and about to launch in the U.S. With revenues up 664% in the last quarter, Glance Technologies has the potential to be a worldwide leader in an industry projected to grow to $1.3 trillion in 3 years. Glance Technologies stock symbols are GLNFF in the U.S. and GET in Canada. Find out more at glancepay.com.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Magnum Gold Corp Inc., MGI on the TSX Venture Exchange. A 2015 drill program on the LH property intersected high-grade gold, including 16.9 meters of 13.58 grams and 11 meters of 20.66 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program is planned to further evaluate previously identified subsurface high-grade gold mineralization. Please visit our website at magnumgoldcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, the Itron bid, you say, has revealed what BC Hydro won't tell us about the smart meters. What has that bid told you, and what can you tell us about that?
Well, to give a little bit of a background, for the last 6 years, I and others have been asking BC Hydro basic information to explain the costs, why we're paying 2 times more than anybody else, to find out about the safety issues, whether they've been certified. Has there been any qualified independent person, an electrical engineer at Hydro, who is certified that these are safe? For the last year, I've been trying to find out about the warranty. Ever since Hydro said that in January of 2016, they started replacing the smart meters. We know that the lifespan is 5 to 7 years, not the 20 years that they have told everybody. And I've been trying to find out what the warranty is, because every time I have found a fire, Hydro tells me that they removed the meter. Yes, they removed the meter from the scene of the fire, but it was their right to do so because they sent it off to Itron to be replaced under the warranty. What is the warranty? Give me the terms of the warranty. They won't do it. I have a Freedom of Information request, no response. So coincidentally, I get contacted from people from all over once they see our website and know that we're gathering so much information. And I was contacted by somebody in Jefferson County, Washington, where Itron is quoting on not 1.9 million meters, but 19,500 smart meters. This is in the States. Many of these are small utility companies who are handling their own contracts, doing their own negotiations. And this person was asking me about questions about the health issue, about the privacy issue, about the fire issue. And coincidentally, she mentioned something about the bid that they received. So I asked her, I said, do you have a copy of the bidding process? And she said, yes, they do. And she shared it with me. It's 131 pages long, and it's on our website. For 19,500 smart meters and the associated infrastructure, for which we were charged $555 per meter, their charge is $200. They are charging the same rate that Itron is charging Hydro to replace the meters. And in the January 16th article from, I think it was the province, it said that 88,000 meters were being replaced, not because of any problems, whatever, it was just time to replace them, and it was costing $200 per meter. No infrastructure changes, just the meter. We now know we overpaid on the basic one. We know that I've got a chart that people can see if they go on my website where showing what other companies, what other utilities are being charged for their smart meters. We were charged $555. This small little utility in Washington is being charged $200, the same that we're being paid for the replacement of our smart meters. Also, on their bid, they say that the warranty is 1 year, and the assumption is that it will be replaced every 5 to 7 years. So there's a whole lot of information in this bid that Hydro has refused to share with us. It's very interesting, and I think it should be very concerning. Where is Premier Horgan on this? Why isn't he concerned that apparently we're being ripped off severely? Here we are with 2 million meters, and we're paying twice what this little tiny utility is.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after this.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain's Brunswick property is located in the Rideout Shear Zone in Ontario, with grab samples running as high as 32 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program to test numerous targets located by recent groundwork is planned for early 2018. Please visit our website at rmroyalty.com.
In Goddard we trust.
Welcome back. We're chatting with Sharon Noble. Sharon, why do you feel the Cancer Society is not talking about the dangers of radio frequencies?
Well, it's not only smart meters, as you point out. It's about radio frequency generally. I've been in a little bit of a snit with the BC Cancer Society for a number of years, ever since I pointed out that one of their, quote, distinguished scientists was misrepresenting her credentials for 16 years, calling herself Dr. Mary McBride, when in fact she's neither an MD nor a PhD. For 16 years she was being called doctor, she was doing grand rounds, she was doing everything. When I pointed that out, the Cancer Society merely said, oh, that was an oversight on our part. Now they call her distinguished scientist. How many other things are going on at the Cancer Society that is hard to understand? I don't know. I've tried to find out if they're tracking cancers. I think in this day and age, when we are surrounded by microwave radiation that we know is a 2B carcinogen, and many scientists are saying it should be even rated higher, that the Cancer Society would be interested in tracking brain cancers, schwannomas of the heart, other unusual cancers that are attributed or can be attributed to exposure from microwave radiation. But it's not happening. And in fact, on their website, the BC Cancer Society, the Canadian Cancer Society, and the American Cancer Society downplay any of the health studies or any of the warnings about microwave radiation. In fact, one of the articles that I had in an update this week, it was from the American Cancer Society, when it says, quote, smart meters are safe. They say they're safe. They say the same thing on the BC website, and they use Perry Kendall, who says things like, there's no evidence of harm. There is evidence of harm. And by saying there isn't, when people like concerned parents who want to know if giving their child a cell phone who's 2 years old sitting on a potty chair or allowing their teenagers to sleep with their cell phones is dangerous, when they have these concerns, they go to the Cancer Society's website and see, no, there's no problem. There's no evidence of harm. This is negligence of the highest disorder, and it's totally misleading. And you wonder why. Start looking at some of the background. In the American Cancer Society, they've got on their board all of the major telecom industry, Siemens, IBM, Accenture, Motorola, all of these people. You look at the BC and the Cancer Society's board of directors, and you'll see the same thing. And you'll see that people like Mary McBride receives funding from the telecoms. I have videos of her talking with parents at schools who are concerned about having cell towers on school property, where she says, there's no harm. If I had a child, I would be more than happy to have her sitting at a school with a cell tower on the top of the school. This is terrible. And the Cancer Society should be held responsible for misleading people for the sake of profit. They're taking money from people who are so concerned about their relatives who are suffering from cancer. They're so concerned about protecting their children, protecting those who are vulnerable, and the cancer societies are misleading them terribly. Dr. Sam Epstein, if you go on and Google him, he has listed the history of the cancer societies over the last 30 or 40 years. They have a terrible history. They sided with the tobacco company. They have downplayed asbestos. They've downplayed many of the most dangerous industries. And they have sided with the telecom industry against scientists like Dr. Henry Lai when people have tried to sue the telecom industry or cell phone companies. I think that people should seriously consider the fundraising that goes on and where the money is going, because it sure isn't going into prevention. If people received honest and true information about how to protect themselves, don't use cell phones. If you use them, keep them away from your body. Use them on speakerphone. Do not sleep with them. Do not let children under 21 use them for any extended period of time. If they have to use them, have them turned off except for the emergency calls that they have to make. Do not allow schools to have Wi-Fi modems. Have everything hardwired in your home and in your school. Fiber optic cable is faster, more efficient, and safer. If the Cancer Society gave information like this, many cancers could be prevented. I've talked with people who are inside the Cancer Society who are very frustrated by what is going on. It is really a sad situation. And Perry Kendall, who has close ties and is responsible for some of the information that is on the cancer website, should be held responsible as well. He's our provincial medical officer who is passing the word on. If you look at Perry Kendall's website or the BC Center for Disease Control website, despite the fact that they have hundreds of studies that I and others have sent them, they continue to say there is no evidence of harm. This is just not true.
What is Fortis BC doing that BC Hydro is not doing?
There's a very serious situation going on right now, and I learned about it from someone who lives in the Fortis BC area. For those who don't know, Fortis BC provides electricity to about 150,000 homes in the interior of BC. they buy their power, by and large, most of it, directly from hydro. And this person who wrote me lives just across the borderline from where hydro, you'd be a hydro customer versus a Fortis BC customer. And he discovered recently, just around Christmas time, that Fortis BC has applied to the BC Utilities Commission to change the rating structure, to take it from a tiered one where those using lower amounts of electricity get cheaper rates until they graduate up into the higher category of usage. BC Utilities has been submitted an application to change that to a flat rate so that everyone would pay the same rate, regardless if you're a low energy user or a high energy user. At the same time, this person told me that he learned that Fortis BC customers, even if they live just across the line, are paying significantly higher rates, close to double the rate that the hydro customers are paying. And we know the hydro customers are getting no big deal, yet the Fortis BC people are paying dramatically more than the BC Hydro customers are paying. And if this rate change goes through, it will increase the differential even more. Why are the Fortis BC people being charged so much more than the hydro people when they're using hydro's energy? This is something that the people who are receiving Fortis BC electricity should be aware of and should be looking at. There is some information on our website on my January 3rd update. If they go into the newsletter and look for the January 3rd newsletter, go down into letters. I have a lot of information there, and there is a table that is attached showing the rate differentials between Fortis BC and Hydro for various services. And I think people would be quite upset about this. They should be intervening. There is an official means of protest or participation. If they are concerned about this, they should be participating in this application that BC UC has received from Fortis BC, asking for the flat rate to be granted. They should be asking to intervene and be given the opportunity to express their concerns. The energy rates are already very high, and people who are living in apartments, in smaller homes, using small amounts of electricity are going to be hit very, very hard when this goes through.
Sharon, is there a website where people can get more information?
They certainly can. They can go to www.stopsmartmetersbc.com, and I send out newsletters every night. They can look at the newsletters if they go onto our website, and it's there by date, so they can go searching through. And as I said, the information on the Fortis BC is under the January 3rd update.
Sharon, thank you so much for chatting with us.
It's always my pleasure, Jim. Thank you very much.
My guest has been Sharon Noble, director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. She just gave you the website address. You're listening to the Goddard Report on TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Find us on Twitter at TalkDigitalNet. Our popular YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Questions for the show or our guests can be emailed to info@howstreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.